Hello, welcome to Hockey on Tap podcast. This is episode 75. Forgot it was Monday. I'm your
That's
host.
the only way.
Of course, it is.
The only way Schwim should wear a mask.
It is.
I've never looked so good.
Little Steve and Schwim. We are brought to you by Primetime Radio, courtesy of Mr. Sam Wu. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a 5-star review if you'd be so kind. Gents, obviously we forgot it was Monday, but we are back, and we're here for another episode.
I definitely did.
What are we drinking?
I showed this to you, Dean, on New Year's Eve, which I forgot to leave you on because I became a little forgetful pretty rapidly while I was there. This beer, the name of it, the name of it is both hilarious, but also kind of pisses me off. It's by Bolero Snort. It's called Oops No Lactose, which is great that they made a beer without lactose. But the fact that they had to say Oops No Lactose just goes to show you how normal it is for them to just add lactose into every single beer. And it just, well, obviously it's a play on words here, but I'm sure they did it on purpose. But this is an IPA with lime zest. Nothing crazy. I don't know why they would put lactose in this for an IPA with lime zest, but, you know, there it is.
Just an excuse to write no lactose on their can to show that.
Figure out all these. There's like a bunch of little candy bowls or something all over here, and I don't quite understand why.
Kind of looks like a fruity pebble.
It does, right?
Yeah,
type thing, right?
Because they have fruity pebbles. They make that drink.
Maybe this is a play on that one. That might have been a play on that one. I believe it does. Maybe. Yes. I'll look it up while you talk about your beers.
Do that.
Okay. No.
Sure.
I'm drinking one that I opened the other day, and I'm trying to finish it because I didn't finish it the other day.
Wait, you opened a beer, didn't? Oh, okay, I got you.
I recorked it.
I thought it was like a can. It'd be better if it was like a can.
I recorked it, and before we came on, I went to go take the cork off, and it went flying across the room. Nice. Good thing nobody was near it. But yeah, this is the wild. It could have hit somebody. It was with that much force. This is the Wild Hood dry hopped wild ale. It's a farmhouse ale. What the hell's in this damn thing? Ale brewed with wheat, rye, oats. I don't even know what this is. Triticale? What the hell is that?
Yeah, we went over that. Didn't we go over that? It's like a grain.
What is that? Is it?
Yeah.
All right. So,
we were trying to figure out how to say it.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that right? Whatever. But yeah, I'm going to finish this bad boy off, and then I'm going to top it off with a Dan Pekatowski special.
Ooh.
Coca-Cola. Original taste Coca-Cola.
You know what's frustrating? I go to Untapped here to read the description here. Hazy breakfast IPA with cashmere lotus, cryo citra, Mitch Copper hops, finished with lime zest, and most importantly, no milk sugar in all caps. But if you go to Fruity Pebbles, which is the exact same beer, and if you go and read it, nowhere in the description of Fruity Pebbles does it say that it contains lactose, which leads me to believe lactose? It says that it doesn't. Which leads me to believe that it actually does. And once again, my frustration boils over because they don't put lactose on the damn label anywhere.
Yeah, that's not fair.
I'm going to get mad. I never had it, though. I guess I stayed away.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Will these people never learn?
No.
Well,
I don't.
Short answer,
my
no.
beer. Steve, my beer. It's Julius by Treehouse in Massachusetts, and it's an IPA, no lactose because
there it is.
January.
Nice.
So bright tropical beer filled with notes of peach, mango, passion fruit, and lactose. I mean, shit. No, I'm joking. Gentle on the palate. Delicious. So Treehouse from my pilgrimage up there, fantastic. I mean, fantastic beer, brewery, the whole shebang. Well, let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. Here's our weekly snapshot. I mean, COVID just suspended I think they just heard the 92nd game of the season. Yeah, 92nd game postponed this season.
Ottawa now, right? Is Ottawa the only one? Yeah. The only team that's still postponing games?
I think so. Yes, Senators Kraken.
And it's attendance related, right? Is that what I heard correctly?
Yeah, I don't.
Fan attendance related?
just don't have attendance then. Don't have fans then.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Granted, I didn't read that much into it because I was too frustrated with the amount of games we've already lost and the NHL not having a plan. NHL really just they've had no plan for this at all. It's obvious. It's just the rest of the leagues go. Has basketball even postponed a game?
I don't think so. Oh, here, so Senators have 9 players, including league ice time leader Thomas Chabot. I actually didn't know he was the ice time leader.
Yeah.
In virus protocols, along with
he plays a ton of
Bob Jones. A major reason their game was at Seattle was called off is that none of the players could have returned to Canada afterward because of federal travel restrictions still in place. Right. Obviously, Sabres adding Okposo, Casey Fitzgerald. They joined Dylan Cousins and 4 other people for the Sabres. They just got back Jeff Skinner and Vinny Hinostroza. Dom Granado also returned. Dallas Stars removed 10 players from the list, so that's good. Fox, Glendening, Hintz, Kiviranta, Rafa.
The 5-day thing really helps.
Yep. Yes. And then the Rangers, I just saw. So Fleury came off the protocol, I saw, but the Rangers just added Panarin to the protocol, so that kind of sucked. And, we're just going forward with what we have. Schwim, I actually wanted to hear you say something to me.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know, just wax poetic about how my team is better than yours, and I was from you.
I was going to say that you're a lovely young man. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Because right now, Schwim, and just a little something for you. This guy, obviously, this January, I think it's the 29th, he will have his jersey brought to the rafters, the number.
Nice.
Obviously, Hank, fantastic goaltender. And then this is for you because this is his tribute. Because this man right here, with Schwim, thank you very much for the shirt. He's playing like him right now.
He is. He played awesome in that game against Tampa.
38 save shutout, blitzkrieg in Tampa.
Yep.
Friend of the show. The only other American that I like more than our friend of the show, Brock Besser, is Chris Kreider with his 3 assists. Mika with the Hattie. Schwim, just say it. Rangers are better.
Tampa has been awful lately.
Right after you said they're a Stanley Cup favorite at the moment, right?
I did, and I jinxed them.
Yeah,
so it's my fault. It's not Tampa's fault. It's my fault. I jinxed them. Vasi just came back. That was his first game back. He actually played for the little amount of shots. I think what the Rangers only had 20-something shots on him. He played well, but the team in front of him is just not playing well defensively at all. Their penalty kill has been god awful. It's continuing to be god awful. They're getting people back. They just lost Sergachev. He went out of the game. He never came back. I don't know what happened to him. They're just there's no consistency with them right now. They need to regroup and they got a bunch of guys. I think they have 3 games this week. Every other day they're playing. I heard a rumor that Kucherov might be back by Thursday, so that'll be cool to see. But he's going to need a little bit of time, I think, to get back in it. But he's good enough that I think he'll seamlessly be able to get right back in it. Points looked awesome since he came back.
Yeah, he scared the crap out of me on that first game.
Oh man.
Do you think any of this had to do with the layoff? Since they did have a pretty slow start to start the season, right?
Yeah, it could be. They had a bunch of guys out, and they had all those minor leaguers basically playing for them. And I think they won 1 game with them, but they just even in the game they won, they didn't look good. As a whole unit defensively, they're just I don't know. They need to. I don't know. They need I think because they're playing usually either every other day or they have a back-to-back. They don't have a time where they have 2 or 3 days off. I think they would benefit from that if they can get some time off to just practice and try to get back into it, get healthy, and get back. But I'm not worried. I know they're just not playing well right now, but I'm not worried.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I think that they're obviously
the Rangers are a good team too. So it's not like you're losing any slouch.
Yeah. Rangers played very good. I'll give it to them. But yeah, Tampa does not look good right now, and they're playing a good team. They played an awesome Florida team and got smoked. Again, that was with a bunch of minor league players, but whatever. So whatever. Yeah, the Rangers look good. I'll give it to them. Shesterkin looked awesome. He played awesome.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He goes to and shows exactly why he's a Vezina candidate. I mean, when he's playing, he is on top of his game. He's the reason why the Rangers came out to such a hot start. Obviously, he went out for the injury, and they came back to earth maybe a little bit. Georgiev played okay. Actually, Georgiev's starting right now. They're playing Edmonton. They're up 2-0. Oh wow, that was on the doorstep. McDavid is so good.
Somebody was excited a little preemptively.
Yeah, no, it looked like they were going to score. Are you watching the game?
Yeah, I have it on.
Yeah, I don't know. The Islanders. Edmonton almost scored. Igor 209 goals against. Save percentage. He's second in the league, 936 behind Jack Campbell at 939. We'll get into some stats later on, but he's been just fantastic. So, really excited for him. So I just wanted to go through a couple things with you guys, and I figured we can kind of just BS our way through this episode as we normally do. No, I'm joking.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Go BS yourself.
Yeah, go BS yourself. All right, so a couple things that I wanted to discuss with you guys. First being, obviously, talked about COVID a little bit. Second one, Penguins, those 2 hat tricks that they had was the first time since 2008 in a game that they had 2 hat tricks.
Sikora and who was it? Sikora and who the heck was the other one?
So here I have it right here. It was obviously Rodriguez and Rust had the Hatties.
Yeah.
And they came on the back of Peter Sikora and Pascal Dupuis.
That's right.
Wow.
December 11th, 2008. I mean, Sikora and Pascal Dupuis, didn't think I'd ever say those 2 in the same sentence. So, Penguins obviously on a pretty good run right here. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think – so obviously the Western Conference is all over the map. There's in the Central there's 6 teams separated between 35 points and 43 points. In the Pacific, it is 7 teams between 45 and 35. That includes Vancouver, who just got the 35-point mark, and they played really well. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Vegas, 7-2-1. They're starting to fly. They're at 45 points, leading the division. I also think they're the tops in the West. But do we already know in the Eastern Conference who the playoff teams are? Is it that lockstep? I mean, if you think about it, right? Tampa at 47. They're second in the whole entire league. Capitals at 48. Tampa at 47. Panthers 46. Maple Leafs 44. Bruins 34. And then Detroit's right there at 33. But okay, and then the other teams, Buffalo, Ottawa, Montreal, are just tanked dog crap.
They're all gone. Yeah.
Then you look at Metro. Washington 48. Carolina 47. Rangers 46. Penguins 41. And then you have 32 is Philly, 31, 31, and 26 for Columbus, Jersey, and the Islanders. Do we already know what the playoff teams are? Is it those top 4 on each side?
I think so.
Is there any team?
I think Boston's going to get better. Potentially with the reintroduction of Rask when he's ready to come back and play. So I don't see Boston slipping as much to let any of these other teams in. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it, right? I don't even know if you'll see anyone. Obviously, the positions might change, but I don't think you'll see another team in that playoff picture at any point.
I mean, it would have to be a dramatic collapse for any team.
Yeah, and Boston. I mean, you said Boston at 34, Detroit at 33.
So
Boston has 5 games in hand.
Yeah,
on them.
5 games in hand.
Yeah,
Yep.
I find it. I mean, unless Boston has some sort of complete collapse, but they still have the best line in hockey.
Yep.
And as long as that line doesn't slow down, which obviously it doesn't seem like it's going to, and the history of the league so far and the history of that line, no one's been able to just take them out of a game. So it's like, you can't just rely on one line. Obviously, Boston's made a thing of it for years now. Boston does have some issues, so I think they're probably the weakest right now, if you think about it, with depth. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any of these other teams. I mean, Philly, who the heck knows, right? And then Columbus, yeah. Detroit's a nice surprise, but who's gonna challenge Boston?
Yeah.
Boston could even get up into the top 3, and maybe like one of the other teams that's in the top 3 right now could fall to that wild card spot. but I don't see it changing. I think I'd see those 8 teams. I don't see anybody overtaking those 2 what do you call it? Wild card spots like Detroit or Columbus or anything. I think it's going to be. I think it's these 8 teams. It's just a matter of what place they're going to positioning, what place they're going to finish in. So I think we could have if it's these 8 teams, I think we could have really good first round matchups. It could be like Tampa Boston first round, or it could be like Washington Pittsburgh first round or something. That would be amazing.
So it would be Tampa and the Bruins in the if it ended now today. Tampa Bruins, Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs. Then you got Caps, Penguins, Carolina Hurricane, Rangers. I mean, those
are all good series.
Caps are number 1 right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Caps would play Penguins, right?
No, Caps would be playing Boston.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking it's interdivision. But yeah, that's right. It goes back to the other one. So it would be So it would be Tampa and Penguins.
Pittsburgh.
Oh boy!
Wow. That is interesting.
I would not be able to talk to Steven. I can't do it. I don't want to talk. I can't even look at him right now. I gotta look this way. I can't do it.
Stay that way.
All right. So Steve said something that I just typed in because I was interested in finding out. So you said the best line in hockey, right? And I just looked up what are the best lines in hockey, and there's actually an article that was written as of the 11th of December, and this is all the high tech, stats. So they go by on ice goals for. So this is strictly offense, right? It's measures how many goals for a line that they have been on the ice together. So the Ovi, Kuznetsov, Wilson line has been on 11 goals for. Ottawa Senators, Kachuk, Batherson, Norris is 10. And then you have Phillies in there, which is the Farabee, Brassard, Atkinson. That's obviously not a top 10 line. Edmonton Oilers, Draisaitl, McDavid, Puyarvi has been on 9-4. And then you have Calgary Flames with Lindholm, Gaudreau, and Kachuk at 7. Other teams, you have Panthers, which is actually the Bennett, Huberdeau, Tippett line. And then you have Kerfoot, Tavares, and Marner. So that's goals for. Now the next one is expected goals for percentage. And the Calgary Flames are number 1, Gaudreau, Lindholm, and Kachuk. The Flames are, so the rest of the stuff goes, goals against per 60. The top line is Flames. Corsi 4 percentage. The top line's the Bruins. Then the Flames are 4. Panthers with Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Duclair 2. You go to Corsi 4 minutes per 60, which is, based off of the amount that they generate per 60 minutes on the ice. And you have the Kings at actually at number 1, but Flames at 5. And Corsi against per 60, which is how many goals you score against. It's the lower number means that line is giving up much less to the opposition. So the Bruins number 1, Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, and then Flames are 5. So notable observations are the only 2 lines in the NHL that sit across those, measuring devices that I just gave you that are top 10 or better is the Panthers and the Flames. And the Flames line of, Gaudreau, Lindholm, and Kachuk has played fantastic this year. I think they're one of the better lines in the NHL. But I just was looking, because that would interest me when you said Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, because I'd probably say that if not they're 1, they're 2, and I'd say the other line that you could put up there would be the McKinnon, Rantanen, and Gabriel Landeskog. I know that for a while there,
you could put, but I wouldn't put.
Kadri was there.
So again, with these advanced analytics, which some of them are nice, but a lot of them I hate.
Yep.
And I don't want to argue stats, but I do want to bring up a point. Like if you're looking at the McKinnon, Rantanen line, the Gaudreau, Kachuk, Lindholm line, like those lines are outstanding. And I'm not going to try to say that they're not, but you can take that Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak line and you match it against other
all
teams'
situations.
top lines. Yeah, so it's such a dynamic trio, and I don't think there's anything else like them out there. The one statistic that I did see that was kind of funny was, I think you were talking about, speaking of Corsi, among all NHL players who participated in 3/4 of their team's games, Corsi 4 percentage at 5-on-5, meaning that whatever the heck that means, you just said that. Number 1, number 2, and number 3 these are players, not lines. Number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the league are Bergeron, followed by Marchand, followed by Pastrnak, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know who's number 4
Yep.
in the entire NHL?
Jason Zucker.
No, Evan Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got it. I said it before you said it.
So the only reason I said that is because for Corsi 4 percentage for lines, they had the Bruins at 1, they had the Panthers, which is the Barkov line, at 2, the Kings with Danault and Kempe and Iafallo are 3, Flames being 4 because Lindholm's obviously a very good defensive center, and then 5 is the Zucker, Rodriguez, and Kapanen line,
which isn't even
They
a
are-
line.
Well,
I think
I
they
guess
just
were they
took
a
3
line?
guys. They just took 3 guys and made a line
these
out
are-
of them.
But this is based off of. Yeah, this is based off of
I don't know that
time
that
played.
trio's ever
It's
played.
weird.
I don't know how.
That's
I don't
weird.
know how much they've played together, if any, this season.
Huh.
On one line, yeah, I don't know that that's happened.
I'd like to know
Penguins, though,
what
have
because the
been.
rest of these-
I'd like to know what
Penguins-
the Bruins that top line there. What is the percentage of those 3 guys on like every goal? Because who else does that team have besides that top line?
That's basically it. Then Charlie
That's
Coyle,
like-
right?
And like Charlie Coyle's what? I don't consider him a top 6.
DeBrusque was at one point, considered that,
So-
but no, yeah, it's one line.
So,
That's what
Schwinn,
they used to have
you're
the
asking
Krejci line,
for-
but Taylor Hall, right? Taylor Hall's still there. Does anybody know?
Tell it all. That's the expected goals for percentage, right? So that's the expected goals percentage, meaning the higher percentage you have means the line is dominating the chance generation and creating more chances with higher opportunity of creating goals than the opposing team when on the ice. So the highest is the Flames with 67%. Then the second best is the Bruins with 65.73%. I mean, the both those lines are they're nasty. But I just saw that that Calgary line, which Calgary's been awesome. They're the number 1.
I wouldn't have guessed
in the-
that line would be that high.
Yeah, they're one of the tops.
Pretty cool.
What place is Calgary in?
They are currently in
They're not
second.
first,
in
are
the,
they? Yeah.
Sorry, third. No, they're third in the Pacific. Although
crazy.
they do have 30 games played. Oh, so that's what it was. So Calgary has the best points percentage in the Pacific, but they're also 5 games back of Vegas and the Ducks, and they're only 5 points back.
And Boston's 5 games under also, right?
Boston's 5 games back. Yep, and
All right.
and they're
6th in
they're
Tampa.
10. They're 10 points behind.
There's a
Toronto
goal.
Maple
Sorry,
Leafs. So
Dave.
even if they had, son of a b. Let's go, Georgiev. Was that a bad one?
I think I jinxed you.
I think it was on
Was
a
that
rush.
Zach
so
Kajan?
bad.
That's Zach Kajan. No, it's McLeod. Yeah, McLeod scored.
Is that Brad Hunt?
No, that's Dryden Hunt. He came from Arizona. He's pretty good third, fourth liner, but they haven't played on the second line with Panarin and Strome. It just hasn't been good. What was this?
Is he
turnover?
is he
What did
named after Ken Dryden?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that's terrible. No
bad
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who was that? It's Hunt, and then who's the defenseman in the middle? 72. Oh, that's
Was that Fox? Did I see Fox?
that's Hedel.
Was that a
no, that's
23?
Hedel and Hunt.
Yeah,
I
who's
don't know.
23?
That is Foxy, if that's true.
I think that was Fox.
They just let
I
him
think it
play
was
like
a bad reach. It wasn't his guy, but
Yeah.
I think it didn't. Well, obviously, playing at full speed is different. It didn't look like he reached
Huh.
to block the pass as much as he could.
All right. So yeah, obviously, those top lines and the way that the teams are sitting right now, I just think that we might already know exactly who's in the East, and I don't even think it's going to be really much of a
Yeah,
a
couple
contest.
teams you thought would have. You thought the Islanders would be there, right? The Flyers, maybe.
It's going to be
The
the
Islanders
usual
are-
suspects.
Kind of a train wreck at this point.
Carolina, I don't know if you saw that game that they had last week on, what was it, against the Blue Jackets. That Saturday? No, that's Friday.
Yeah,
Where
but
they scored 7 straight.
7 straight. Yep.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
on Saturday. They scored 7 straight. They were a 4-0 deficit and had 7 straight unanswered to win 7-4. I mean, that has got to be deflating. And I know
That's
Columbus
bad.
has been, competitive. That's not good. The Winter Classic, obviously, I watched that a little bit on Sunday.
Yeah, me too. It was actually
sorry,
pretty
Saturday.
entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It was the coldest game in history.
They scored a ton
of
for
the
being
NHL.
that cold out,
Yeah.
which I was surprised at.
6-4. Jordan Kyrou was awesome. He's
Yeah, he went
one
off.
of the stars of the week. 2 goals, 2 assists. It was minus 5.7 degrees during face-off.
I think it was
temperature.
-9 at the start of the third period.
-9. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
this is start of the face-off. It was minus 5.7. Out of the 33 outdoor games the league has played, it was the first in sub-zero temperatures. I loved seeing the pictures of the guys with the beards and just icicles forming along their beards.
Ryan O'Reilly
Very
was
good.
Ryan O'Reilly was one of them.
It was
and
awesome.
the frozen water
And
bottles,
then-
the guys that went to go take a drink,
Yep.
and it's just a solid
nothing
block of
coming out.
ice. Yeah.
And then the other thing was I saw the NHL actually had to heat the ice. They didn't normally you have to cool the ice because they have temperatures of 50s or whatever. They actually had to heat the ice in order for it to be played at a proper temperature.
Wow.
And then lastly, I also saw that what's his name, the goaltender Cam Talbot's on injured reserve, but what was it? The St. Louis Blues came to the arena in beach weather tires. They came in bathing suits or shorts, flip-flops. Yep. One guy came shirtless. I don't know who it was. He just had a towel wrapped around him. You guys are nuts. I mean, I know there's, having some fun in games, but that's craziness.
What was an interesting fact about that game also? Jordan Binnington swapped out his water bottle with an insulated bottle of hot chicken broth.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And that's what he used to
So that's what he was
rehydrate.
squirting in his mouth in between.
Yeah. Just warm chicken broth, yeah.
That's weird.
I don't know about that. That is weird. Yeah, because also it's bad for your body, right? If you're cold and you have something warm, it actually zaps more heat from your body.
And
Like
chicken broth typically has a lot of sodium in it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but then
wouldn't
again,
that make you
then
laggy?
again,
like
and-
hinder your
I don't know.
well, Alex Ovechkin drinks friggin' Pepsi in his water bottle on
Yeah.
the bench during games, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Not Coke, Pepsi,
It's not as good as
So
not as cool as
Talbot-
me.
and
Talbot,
root beer
this was his
in between.
I think this was his third outdoor game because he posted the shutout for Edmonton in the Heritage Classic. He had that four-screen stocking. He did not play very well, I didn't think. I know their defense wasn't exactly good, but
There was a lot of very fluky goals that happened. I think the flukiest happened on Binnington was at the end of the second period when they were getting killed already or something. It's just a lot of weird bounces and off skates and sticks and whatever else.
Ooh, that was close. Speaking of horrible goals, did you see that goal in the Devils game? Was it yesterday or the day before? Where it was just like a shot from all the way down the rink, and it was right on goal, and he had it. He was down in a butterfly, and he had it right there with like a stick in front of it, and he went to go like give it to somebody and completely messed it up and gave it right to who were they playing? I think they were playing the Capitals. Gave it right to the Capitals guy, and he just passed it over to a wide open guy, and he put it in an open net.
Oh.
It was fantastic.
I missed that.
It was in the same game when friggin' Subban tried to slew foot Hathaway, I think. He's going to the net with him. They're both going to the net, and he, for whatever reason, just kicks his leg up and tries to do something. He didn't succeed, thank God, but it's just like he was getting a lot of shit for it.
Oh,
And the
he's
guy
been doing it
yeah,
repeatedly.
he was like, oh, but he's like I don't know, he's a weird skater. He's probably going to blame it on his skating, but like, if you see the video, if you look at it, like, there's no reason for him to like kick his leg up the way he did.
Especially since this is like what, the fifth time now
Yeah, he does it all the time now.
this season. I mean,
I was reading some stuff on The Athletic about the Winter Classic, and I was talking about from heating the ice to recycling Christmas trees, and I was trying to find what that article was about because I guess they were trying to do something. The average high temperature for Minneapolis each New Year's Day is 24 degrees, so it was even colder than they were expecting.
what's the home team loses? The home team loses quite often.
It's got to be under
Philly
500.
lost to the Rangers.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I think back when there was only a handful of these games, it was pretty one-sided for the visitor. And in fact, I think at the time when the Rangers had the Rangers lose both, right?
No, the
The
Rangers
Stadium
are
Series?
undefeated. Rangers are undefeated in
Were they the
outdoor
home
play.
team?
No, they were never the home team.
So that's probably why. So I don't remember. I think it was during the time of that doubleheader is when it was like the home team had won once. So I don't know where we're at now, but I know that it is
because
very
the Rangers
far skewed towards the away team.
They won in Philly for their Winter Classic. They won both Stadium Series games against the Devils and the Islanders.
What are you waiting for? Oh my God!
And then who's in
Terrible.
net? He's way out.
Koskinen.
Oh, it is Koskinen.
Fox just did a 2+ minute shift, and now he's finally getting off the ice.
Yeah, he is a little bit. Me and Steve were actually just talking about it.
Yeah, he heard me talking about how I'm surprised he's not a leader, one of the top 10 in time on ice. I thought for sure he would be. He's not.
That'll bring it up right there. He just did 2+ right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite as good as Seth Jones's. What was that 7-minute shift that he had? Because he couldn't get out his own last year. Was it last year, right? That he had, and then he had played he had a 7-minute shift, and then he played something like 60 minutes in that overtime game. Remember, it was a full game that he had to play. Remember that?
No.
The game that they played last year that went into
against Tampa?
The playoff game. Yeah, right? It went to
game.
7 overtimes. Or
that first game. That first game. They went to 4 or 5 overtimes, whatever it was.
Yeah, and he played 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find here time on ice per game. Okay, so time on ice leaders: Shabbat 27 minutes 12 seconds. Mm-hmm. He's 30 seconds ahead of Darnell Nurse at number 2.
That's also surprising. Why is Darnell Nurse that high? It's weird to me.
They have nobody else on defense over there.
Yeah, true. Werenski 3, Chris Letang 4, Brent Burns 5, Seth Jones 6, Pietrangelo Ekblad Hedman 9. Doughty 10, Chikrin 12, Adam Fox 13. He plays 24:43. He's 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes behind the leader, Thomas Shabbat. He actually is 13. It's not like he's way off, but he does play 24 minutes a game.
I thought he'd be higher than that. Top 5, maybe?
I guess so.
And he plays in all situations, right? He's playing power play,
he does,
strength, and penalty kill.
PvP kill. Yeah. All right. What do you think the first forward is?
On time on ice?
Time on ice.
I feel like I just looked at this. I know Ovechkin's up there if he's not number 1.
So the top 2 are centers, and that's of the top 50.
Is McDavid 1?
Or Draisaitl, one of those
number 2. McDavid's number 2, Draisaitl number 1. Both the same team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's 22:56 for Draisaitl and 22:37 for Connor McDavid.
Well, when you're the only 2 players on your team,
just gotta keep playing them.
There goes Melvin again. About to knock everything off the bridge.
I should actually have looked up the first non-Edmonton Oiler and seen what it said. Did you guys see what Brad Marchand wrote on Twitter about the Olympics, the whole thing?
I heard that I missed it, but I heard
caused a firestorm on Twitter. Basically that, because of, everything that's going on with the CBA and doing the taxi squads, he feels that there should be a way for the NHL to make the Olympics work, or at least allow individuals the chance to play in the Olympic Games with the tax squad. So it basically essentially argued that if the league and the NHLPA could amend the collective bargaining agreement on the fly to add taxi squads as a response to new COVID-19 outbreaks, could they not also have amended the CBA to allow individual players to decide whether they wanted to participate in the Olympics? And it obviously started a really big heated debate on social media, and elsewhere on the NHL. A lot of people asking what exactly would that look like. Marchand argued that the players selected to their respective Olympic teams should have been given the option of going. And that if the NHL wanted to continue playing games in their absence, the league could do so by dipping into teams' taxi squads and going that way. So I guess obviously interesting. He's, he's right in a lot of respects, wrong in some, because obviously that should be up to your team. But what did you guys think about that?
And the NHLPA is supposed to represent the players as a whole, right? So
Yep.
I understand there's always going to be outliers, and nothing's ever going to be 100% majority, right? It's hard to be like, go if you want, but or don't. It's like opt out or not, instead of just being like, listen, no one's going.
I guess, and this is the perspective that I saw on Twitter for people against it. And this involves Marchand and his own team. So, for example, if the Bruins quartet of Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, and McAvoy all decided to head to the Olympics, and the Bruins played most of February with minor league call-ups filling in the gaps in the lineup, right now the Bruins are on the cusp of missing the playoffs as is.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're going to take 10, 12 games out of the schedule and, not play with their top guys. You could see why a team in the NHL would be like, we're taking it out of your hands.
And at the same time, like, if 90%, I mean, granted, Team Canada is obviously, we can say that you can make a second Team Canada that will be just as good as basically any other country there. But if like 90% of Team Canada says, no, I'm not going, and then he's, maybe his decision would be based on that. Because would you want to go if like the vast majority of your team, of the national team, isn't? I don't know. I don't know if you can. It would be nice, I guess, if you made it on a player by player basis. But the teams, the agreement for the players going was that we were going to have this Olympic pause, and if the league says. So the league basically should have kept the pause and then told the players, go if you want to. And then if most don't, then you just basically have an entire, 2-week pause with the teams doing that, with nobody doing anything. I don't know. I feel like there really is no easy way to approach this situation where you can make it just go if you want to, where the league's going to come to a screeching halt and players go if you want. It kind of should be an all or nothing, no?
I think that's how it has to be. You can't just have, some guys going in and some guys, not really. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely tough. All right, so I was just looked up, people's projections on what the rosters for, each respective team could look like. And this is apparently what they've already come up with for players that are available for the U.S. And I'm just going to go over the big names. Kenny Agostino, which is actually a Jersey-born. He played for Del Barton, so he'd be one of the options. Nick Shore, I don't know if you guys remember him from the Kings. He was a big-time first-round prospect. But then some pretty interesting names. Brendan Brisson and Matty Beniers from Michigan. Jake Sanderson from North Dakota, obviously standout defenseman for Ottawa Senators. Brock Faber, Minnesota. After that, it kind of goes downhill real fast. But here's also I heard Bobby Ryan would try to be on the roster, and I'd enjoy that. I think it'd be fun to see Watcher play.
That'd be awesome.
Here's Canada. Eric Fair.
What goaltenders?
David. So the only goaltender they have in here right now is Brandon Maxwell. He was a member of the 2018 U.S. Olympic team in Seoul in South Korea.
No idea.
He played for the Fishtown Penguins in Germany the past 2 seasons.
Okay.
That sounds completely made up.
Yeah. You don't know if I'm faking it or not. So here's Canada. Eric Fair, David Desharnais, Ryan Spooner, Jordan Wheel, Owen Power, Jason Demers, Eric Jelena, and then David Dubnyk could be the goaltender for the Olympic squad because he's obviously not playing right now. He's in. I
wonder if Yager would play.
So I was looking at. So just here's Russia, right? They have Mikhail Grigorenko. They have Vadim Shipchayev. They have Voinov, Slav Voinov, Nikita Nestorov. Their goaltender is terrible.
What about Askarov?
I don't know.
Where's he?
I have not seen Askarov. But they have Vasily Koshkechkin. He's He was in net for Russia's 2018 gold medal win in South Korea. So I guess they're relying
Not
on him.
Russia. Olympic,
Not Russia.
whatever committee, whatever the
Russian,
hell they're
the
called.
Russian Olympic Committee, I think, right?
Yeah, sorry. ROC. Sweden has Oscar Lindberg, Carl Soderberg, Anders Lindbach, blast from the past.
Lindbach. Wow.
Former Tampa Lightning. Wow.
Finland, Sami Vatanen, Valtteri Filppula, Marcus Granlund, Leo Komarov. I guess these are just players that are, abroad or in college that could join the squad. Devin Dubnyk seems to be, I guess, one of the bigger names for Canada at least. And that's not a bad player to have in your net.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hit or miss.
Yeah, he's got to be better than the other options for the other teams if it's just scrubs like this. At least he played in the NHL. I don't know.
I would like to see
all
that
right,
all college. That'd be great.
I wish they would do that. Just do college teams. Fine with me. Yeah. I'd even take the World Junior teams and make them the Olympic teams. Do a combined.
Those kids got screwed big time.
You win the World Juniors and the Olympic gold medal if you win this the competition. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. And they're talking about already, making that the summer slate would be the World Junior Classic, having that happen then. So I'd be interested. But 3 stars of the week. Jordan Kyrou, three goals, 4 assists, 7 points in 2 games, highlighted by the 2 goals, 2 assists, 4-point performance in the Winter Classic versus to help the Blues beat the Minnesota Wild. He also had a goal and 2 assists in a 4-2 victory over the Edmonton Oilers, who I guess is it still 2-1? I didn't see.
Yeah, end of the period.
Yeah, Kyrou, ranks second on St. Louis in goals, assists, and points with 12, 20, and 32 total. He's just shy of career highlights in 55 games from last year, 35 points, and this year he has 32. Second star, Jack Hughes, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points in 3 outings. He had that 2-goal, 1 assist performance against Buffalo. He had the Helpron Heishier's overtime goal against Caps. He's done pretty well in 16 games. He has 16 points. He's a point-per-game player, but obviously missed a little bit of time from the injuries. Third star, Huberdeau, topped the NHL with 7 assists in 3 games, one goal for 8 points total. Panthers were perfect this week. He's held off against the Rangers.
I just saw the goal.
Saw that goal. Yeah.
Sorry, Dean.
See if they show what's his face.
Oh, this is
Subban.
Heishier goal?
No, they showed the horrible turnover by the Devils goalie.
Oh, nice.
And of course, they don't show Subban and his antics. Of course not.
Jack Hughes tallied. Oh yeah, that's multiple points in 3+ straight games. Yeah,
I guess
Huberdeau with 41 points in 32 games, so star of the week. I also did the stars of the month for December. Austin Matthews, I had at first. He had 10 goals, 14 points total. In 7 games. I know obviously December didn't exactly have the proper amount of games due to COVID breaks, but so here's the Hatties. They're playing on the MSG network. That was an empty netter for
Rust.
Zucker?
Yeah, Rust.
Oh, Rust, that's right.
Zucker's week
Not
to week.
bad. So I guess Russ probably didn't have any hats because everyone else threw theirs on, huh?
There's still a good amount that came out though. I know Bob Airy was making a point. He's like, how does anybody in this arena still have a hat on? Just had 2 hat tricks in the span of 5 minutes.
I've seen 2 hat tricks, and I've only thrown my hat once because I like my hats. Why don't I throw my hat out on the rink?
You saw one.
I don't know. You saw one?
I saw one.
Yeah,
I threw my hat on the ice, and I got it back.
The only hat on the ice.
Yep. And I got it back. It was awesome.
Yep.
How'd you get it back?
I asked the guy,
The
like, hey, can I have my
ice
hat?
crew.
And he threw it back.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's just one hat out there, and the ice crew saw it, and he's just like, "Can I have my hat back?" And he's like, "Yeah, here you go."
So who was the hat trick? Who got it?
It was it Seager, I think?
Yeah, it was Seager. I was trying to remember his first name. I know Seager.
I think it was him. Yeah.
And against who? Who was the game?
The Devils.
Against
And won them in
yeah.
overtime.
Oh, it was the Penguins Devils?
No, it was Devils Tampa.
Devils Tampa.
Oh,
And did Poopa come in that game, I think?
No, it was Hobby Bullen.
Was it Hobby Bullen? Okay, it wasn't that old.
Week started.
I think he started, yeah, and Hobby Bullen came in and played awesome, and they were able to come back in it, and then they won it in overtime, and he had a hat trick. And they played with my hat a little bit, too, on the ice.
Yep.
I threw it on the ice, and they played with it a little bit, and then I asked the crew member for my hat back, and he obliged.
Not bad. My second star of the month, Max Pacioretty, 10 goals, 6 assists, 12 contests for the Knights.
That's pretty good.
And then my third star, Thatcher Demko. Thatcher Demko had one hell of a December. He was 7-1, a 172 goals against, and 946 save percentage. One of the reasons why the Canucks went 8-1-1.
Pretty good.
They were a record-tying 7-0 start under new coach Bruce Boudreau. Bruce, there it is. He yielded two or fewer goals in 6 of 8 starts. He also made 30 saves 5 times, including a career high. Season high 40 saves against the Dallas Stars. Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh. He had 40 saves in a win. All right. So those are stars. You guys have anything you want to chat about?
I thought I did at the start of this, but you've completely distracted me from any of my thoughts.
I do like to do that quite often.
You're pretty good at it.
I am fantastic at it. All right, let's see here. Go to my little cheat sheet. Of course, I don't even have anything written on
It's
here.
19 degrees outside.
Where's our trivia?
19 degrees.
Yeah.
I'll get you to trivia. Don't worry. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Some other things just to talk about. I still do want to do the Mount Rushmore because we didn't finish that for each team. Current NHL players that are Hockey Hall of Famers or could be. I know we went through that a little bit. And I think we got up to Chicago, and I think we need to finish that as well. Worst MVPs ever. What happened to them afterwards. Taylor Hall, Corey Perry, Jose Theodore. Here's our trivia as well. I should pull this
Taylor Hall is probably the worst of them. He went right off a cliff.
Theodore didn't do very well. See, now I'm screwing up Shea Theodore and Theodore because you guys keep making fun of me.
Gots to.
That's the problem with giving the Hart Trophy to like a defenseman or a goalie. Because they're not, so many Hart Trophy winners are just repeat candidates, right? Or repeat winners. And you just can't expect that from a defenseman or a goalie. It just is. They could still have great careers going after that, but because they don't have as crazy a career in order to win a Hart Trophy, you as a goalie or a defenseman, you really need to have a historic season. Not just the points leader. McDavid's going to win again because he's the points leader. And, he's the best player on the ice. Is he the true MVP? Obviously, that's the debate. But for a defenseman or a goalie to win it, it needs to be a historical season. Or historically bad for the rest of the league, who just no one stood out.
All right. So why don't we just get into this because now I'm actually interested.
All right.
All right. So here's the last, we'll just keep going over. So McDavid last year, McDavid last year, Draisaitl the year before that. You had Cooch, you had Taylor Hall, who obviously bad year after that and hasn't been very good for a while, so he's a very good candidate. You had McDavid in 2017.
Like a third liner now. How the hell is that happen?
Yeah.
You go from the Hart Trophy winner to
you're on a
friggin'
awesome team, and you're third line on this friggin' team? Get out of here.
Yep. Patty Kane, Carey Price in 2015 when he also won, the Vezina. Some would say that he hasn't exactly lived up to snuff. I know he brought him to a cup last year, but he was also a part-time player throughout most of the year. It's not until the playoffs that he really got hot.
He's on a horrible team, and you can't the goalie isn't. The goalie's not going to put up 150 points in a season to help us to outscore the other team. Are you
No,
letting
but he
1, 2
can-
goals, 3 goals, and lose? Like that's not.
Yeah.
And the team's terrible, and the team last year was terrible too. They just somehow got to the Stanley Cup final because of the way the league was set up. But
Yep.
I don't think
through
Carey Price is. I don't think that's that much of an anomaly.
14 was
Although-
Crosby, 13 was
No.
Ovechkin, 12 was Malkin. Corey Perry, 2011, obviously the 50-goal scorer. He had 50 goals,
that's
and then he
long
also
gone.
was 90
Yeah.
something points. Yeah, not very good. Henrik Sedin in 2010, very good season. Ov was 09 and 08. Crosby 07. Actually, I didn't realize that Ov actually has more Hart trophies than Crosby, 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Thornton in 06, that's when he beat Yager. Marty St. Louis in 04. Obviously 05 was a lockout, no season. 03 was Peter Forsberg, fantastic season. And then
And career.
02, yeah, and career. But 02 was Jose Theodore. Damn it, now I'm screwing up Shea Theodore and Jose Theodore because of you two. Peter Forsberg, Theodore, and then Joe Sakic, and then Chris Pronger won in 2000. He was the first defenseman that I've seen on the list. Chris Pronger, very good defenseman, very good year. I mean, you had 98 and 97. You had that Dominator, 1-2 in a row for goalies. So now I'm just going to go by defensemen and goaltenders.
That's pretty crazy. I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Back-to-back goaltender.
Back-to-back goalie winning the Hart. I don't think that's ever happened again.
Vasi could see the problem with Vasi is there's too many good
even
offensive weapons.
That's what I'm saying. Well, there's so many good offensive players in the league, and like Vasi could have an amazing season. He could be in the running and maybe win one, but to go back to back to win Hart trophies back to back, that's never happening again. There's no way.
I don't know.
Who's
with the state of the league right now, I don't think that we're going to have another. Certainly not another goalie win the Hart.
Maybe not for a while.
I think the way that the league is set up. Just the way the league is set up, it just isn't. It's not meant for. It's just too much goal scoring. There's not a whole lot. There's not a ton of shutouts. Is he the best candidate to be nominated for it? Yeah, he's the best goalie in the league, but that's not. I'm going to say that still not going to happen.
Shesty could be one of those options as well.
Yeah, but to win a Hart, you think he's going to win a Hart?
Yeah, because he's on a team. Not that the Rangers are bad, but he's on a team where there's not exactly enough firepower to really take away from what he can do. And if he has a season like he's doing now,
this is where the argument comes into play. Like true MVP to their team, is Shesterkin going to win? Should the Rangers have a successful season, maybe win the division, maybe finish tops in the East, whatever it is that they end up finishing, is Shesterkin the MVP for his team to get them where they were? Yes, but there's still Draisaitl and McDavid who are going to have a historic amount of points, and they're just not. He's not going to beat them. That's just not how it works. It's not the MVP of the team. The fact that it could potentially, the Hart Trophy could be two guys from the same team as candidates is complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. Yeah, if you can nominate two, you should nominate zero.
Yeah,
because obviously you don't have one single player. You have two.
Yeah. Agreed. You have to go all the way back to 1973, 1972, and 1971 for Bobby Orr winning 3 in a row for a defenseman. He's the last person before Pronger's win in 2000. You have to go all the way back to 1973 for a defenseman to win.
I feel like Lidstrom should have or could have.
Pronger was the last defenseman to win the Hart.
2000. Yeah. 2000.
Jesus Christ.
Even that was debatable. Even though he had a phenomenal season. Who was beat out? I think it was. Was it a Yager season?
2000 Hart Trophy race. There's nothing on.
When you type in Chris Pronger, one of the questions that pops up first is, what happened to Chris Pronger?
All right, 99 2000. So
first question.
So Pronger had 62 points. He was a plus 52. I'm sure that back then that was a big thing. He just beat out Jaromir Jagr by 1 vote. Jagr had 96 points that season, 42 42 goals, 54 points, 54 assists. Pavel Bure had 58 goals. Olaf Kolzig was 41, 20, and 11
That's a lot of games.
ties. He was 224, 9, 17
Jesus.
goals against.
That's a
That's
lot of games.
Yeah. Owen Nolan had 84 points. Roman Turek was 42, 15, and 9 at 195 goals against, 912 save percentage.
See,
Roman
that might have
Turek for
been
Louis.
where Pronger, the random seasons that are just sprinkled in throughout the history of the NHL, where it actually goes to the most valuable player to his team, and that's probably what it was with Pronger. And the rest of them, maybe
St.
it wasn't
Louis,
so much the case, but
yeah, for St. Louis, he was ridiculous that season. Yzerman and Lidstrom finished 8 and 9. Lidstrom had 73 points, which led all defensemen. Pronger had 62. He was plus 52.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's nuts.
I'm trying to. So Hasek was nominated for 17th. He only played in. That's 20. That's 31 games he played, and he had 221 goals against and a 919 save percentage, and he was still nominated 17th.
And Kolzig played 71 games that year.
Yeah, he had one. Yeah, he had one fifth place vote. Chris Simon was nominated for Washington. He had 49 points, was a plus 11, and he was 13th. He got one third place vote. What idiot voted for Chris Simon?
What idiot voted Chris Simon
for Hart Memorial Trophy?
Somebody from Washington.
That's amazing.
I think that's the journalist, right? Someday there's like a collection of journalists that vote something like that.
Yeah, some jackass. Lady Bing that year was Pavel Dimitra. Lidstrom was 2. Yep. Vezina went to Oli the goalie. Calder was. Guess who the Calder was? Devils fans.
She got the Vezina just based on volume that season.
Yeah.
Is it Gomez?
Devils. Scotty Gomez. Yep. 70 points, 19 goals, 51 assists, plus 14.
Gomer.
Gomer Pyle, a jelly donut. Norris went to Pronger. Obviously, if he didn't win the Norris, that would have been pretty ridiculous. No Ranger on there. That's upsetting. Selke was Steve Yzerman. The All-Star team was Yzerman, Madano, Sakic, Roenick, Sundin, Marty Straka, Gilmore, Victor Kozlov, and Pierre Turgeon.
Marty Straka.
Yep.
Love that guy.
Represent.
He was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trivia, and let's get the F out of here.
Wow. F-bombs.
All right. The first Colorado Rockies team to be a major sports team wasn't a major baseball team, but rather a National Hockey League team. Before the 82-83 season, they moved to Jersey and became the Devils. What were they called before they moved to Colorado for the 76-77 season? So pre-Colorado Rockies, they were what?
I have no idea. I don't even know what to guess.
Was there a Kansas City team at one point or something?
Yeah. Schwim, Kansas City Scouts.
Scouts.
I didn't know the name. I think I knew it was Kansas City, though.
In 67, the NHL awarded a franchise to the Bay Area, and it's originally took the name California Seals, but changed that same year to Oakland Seals. After 3 years, it was changed again to California Golden Seals before the team picked up in 1976 and moved to Cleveland. After 2 years in Cleveland, the franchise was contracted, and the players merged into the Minnesota North Stars. The Scouts were founded in 74 and lasted only 2 years before relocating to Colorado. So the Devils, relocate them to Kansas City. They deserve it.
Go back there. Why not? Go back to your roots.
go back to your roots.
Don't you want to go home?
Vancouver, yeah. According to Vancouver Canucks goaltender Robert Luongo, where does a netminder suffer the greatest pain?
The testicles?
Oh, man.
It's the groin. Luongo said the pain could.
It's in.
That's
terrible. Watch this goal.
All right, we got to watch this before I get to this question. Was that Fox goal?
I
I think
I
he
think
shot it.
so.
I don't know if it's his goal
It
though.
was
Went through
awful.
a mess of people.
Yeah, they're saying it's Foxy. Power play goal. Let's see here before all these Devils fans start getting angry with me and keep taking shots at them.
How far ahead of Hedman is he
uh,
now?
I will let you know in 2 seconds. I'm watching this beautiful.
I got it.
sight.
No,
Just a ripper. Yeah, I don't think it was deflected.
They got to show from behind. Watch this. It's just. Oh, he did get it. That guy who was Kreider got it.
Oh, it is Kreider. That guy is a beast.
And then right through. You
all right,
suck.
so Luongo said that the pain that a shot to the groin takes could last for weeks for the goaltender. That is miserable.
I believe it. I can't imagine taking a 108-mile-an-hour slap shot one-timer to the Nards.
Imagine taking an Al Idafrady slap shot to the Nards back in the day. Oh my God.
All right, so Canada, obviously, it's greatness in the Olympics. So here's the question. When was the first time Canada did not win the gold in the Winter Olympic Games? What was the first year they did not win the gold? And bonus points for if you can tell me who got it.
Oh, Christ.
It's very early. You're not going to even come close to a year.
Nah.
1936 is the year. Guess the country that did it.
That won?
West Germany.
No. Schwim?
France.
All right, boys. It was Great Britain.
All right.
That was close.
Great Britain won the gold instead.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
All right, last question. Which NHL team only won one single game during its franchise history? They only won one single game
during their history.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. How long did the team last for? One game?
One season, and they only played in 6 games.
Oh my God!
So,
I don't
so
have
they
any
played
idea.
their first season.
You know what it is though? It's surprising. It's Tampa. That's how bad they were when they first came into the league.
Montreal Wanderers, they played their first season in 1917, 1918, but only played 6 games and were 1-5. The Wanderers were forced to withdraw from the league after their arena burned down.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Pretty good.
They couldn't keep the place from not catching fire for 6 games.
Yeah,
6 games.
There was
the place caught fire.
I mean, just terrible. So, all right, boys. What's our rankings?
Somebody had it in for him.
I gave mine a 4. It's actually really good. I was surprised. I don't like hazies, but it was great.
Shrum?
My Dogfish is delicious, 4.25, and my Coca-Cola is not as much, so I'll give it like a 3.
Nice. My Julius, I haven't had an IPA this good in quite a while. I'm going to give it a 4 or 5. It was very good. We will be back next week. Enjoy your week and Happy New Year to all. Schwim.
Happy New Year, everybody. I want to congratulate all of us for participating in Veganuary, especially me and Dean. Steven's been going through Veganuary for
I've been pushing
very many years. But he pushed us both, and me and Dean are still doing it. So anybody who wants to get in on it, go on. What's the website? Is it Veganuary?
Veganuary.
Just go on that.
Yeah. Go to Facebook.
That. Check it out.
Search Veganuary and sign up, and they'll give you all the steps, all the help, all the resources. Yep. Check it out.
All right.
Try it out.
Adios.